Actors in war. Like I say, we went through a war. World War One, World War Two, and other things. Like I say, though, you'd be surprised. Those actors in Hollywood would be quite amazed. Like I say, it's a very good and funny story. Um, and actually very interesting. Um, and possibly bad. I don't know. Like I said, I was trying to protect all of my people quite a bit. There were a lot of really bad things that were happening, you see, around the world. And like I say, you'd be surprised as to the heroes that stepped up to the plate. Like I said, acting, films, directing, and stuff has always been a part of LS, Lucifer Starlight, me, and my people. Like I said, people from from around the world, basically. Like I said, my different agencies, starting in Germany and also going to um, Russia and stuff like that. Actors would be surprised at what they did actually during the wars. Anyway, though, there were many wars, and like I said, I wish I could remember the story, but you see, well, I mean, we'd always been tank manufacturers and always been builders and always been record keepers and document holders, basically. But the films you see and the actors, there were times when my actors had to pretend to be different people. To say that Jimmy Carter, John McCain, and Richard Nixon were going to be outclassed is an understatement. My actors, well, my gypsies alone, even my gypsies, were very good at disguises. And like I say, I love my gypsies. They would put on epic puppet shows, and they would dazzle and woo and play wonderful music and have rum and everything else like that, and get a whole town drunk, as they say. Oh, those were the days. I miss the days of the gypsies, actually. They would put on whole festivals inside of a small town and go from town to town to town to town. And I was more than happy to pay them out of the tax money. And most people were pretty happy to pay them. And I was trying to subsidize them and get them money because they were such wonderful people, you see. And like I said, they would go into a town and they would and the children of the town would go and watch the puppet shows. And they would always bug the parents, but they would also let certain kids in for free and stuff if they couldn't pay and all this stuff. Like the gypsies were wonderful, wonderful, amazing people. I guess you might call them Middle Easterns. And their puppet shows. Wonderful, wonderful puppet shows. Anyway, like I said, they also did political little things too, and I never minded them actually. Like I say, some people might say that blah 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 blah. It's like I didn't mind when they gestured at me. They always gestured or made fun of me in silly funny ways. Anyway, they were never mean. They were never cruel. I don't think. Um, I love them quite a bit. You see. Um, like I say, I remember them from the old days when they used to go from town to town. And like I said, there was this one town when they were attacked or they found a corrupt mayor or something like that, or a horrible person or something like that, and they actually, I forget what they did. If they took him with them, or what they did. But they actually would uncover murderers sometimes or horrible people or something like that. I don't really remember exactly what happened to them or what happened, but it was a really good story. Anyway, though, but about my directors and Hollywood people, like I said, films and filming and acting, it comes second nature to some people, and also like I say, if you've stood on stage for so many times, you can generally carry a part. So, like I said, you'd be surprised at how my actors actually played such a huge role because they could blend in, disappear, and literally um, could match perfectly accents. Like I said, many of my gypsies were the same way. They could have one accent one minute and another accent the next. They were amazingly good at deceiving people and getting people to do things for them. And like I said, they worked for me sometimes too. Anyway, like I said, many groups on the planet Earth and throughout the universe, I loved. I was very happy to have them, very proud that they were part of my civilization. People like the gypsies, like I say. Many people wouldn't understand. Like I said, the war was bad. There was a lot of bad things that happened. Um, but we got through it, like I say, too. Anyway, I think the gypsies thought, it turned out they were wrongfully accused. And if I had been able to step up, and I might have gotten them released, I don't know. They didn't do it. They didn't. They weren't the ones to blame. And they didn't steal, by the way. I don't think the gypsies ever stole anything. They didn't have to steal. They were entertainers, you see. And anyway, I forget. There are so many bad things that happened. Anyway, like I said, whatever. I was more worried. Like I say too, I was more worried actually about the good humans actually getting tortured by my exoskeletons or my 1.5s than anything else. Like at one point in time, I said to go ahead and torture the people, and then I realized, or later on I realized, I don't know. A lot of things happened. Anyway, but I put a stop to it, like I say. I told them not to torture certain people anyway. Certain people would not be tortured, of course. I was more worried about the humans actually encountering my other life forms than anything else. Like I say, you're not alone. You're not alone at all. And there are some fairly dangerous, very dangerous. Like I said, there are life forms out there that literally, if you meet them, you will join them and you will support them and worship them and stand by their side and defend them with your own life and be happy to do it. So like I said, there are some things out there that you don't want to meet. That's why I was laughing at Rodney and some other people. I was like, are you crazy? Like, you don't know what's out there. Out there in the universe. Like I said, there are things that will get inside your head that will do, like I said, you won't be you after you meet them. You will be addicted to them, literally. Physically, mentally, emotionally. So, like I said, I knew what was possible with nanotechnology and other things. I know what's out there in the universe. I know what I created too. And like I said, some other person found out about what I had created and some of the things, and they said, well, the thing is that some of your life forms are a bit too dangerous. I was like, yeah, I thought you would say that. So I think they made some life forms smaller so they could be around me or something like that. I don't know. And some other life forms. They dealt with some things. I was like, yes, they are going to be a problem. Eventually. So, anyway, everybody else, so many humans on Earth and so many people, they're like, blah, 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 what? It's like, well, yeah. Anyway, that doesn't really matter. You probably won't encounter them. But, anyway. Anyway, though, yeah. I even told people at some point in time, I even said, things are not exactly as they appear to be. Anyway, whatever. I could explain it better. I used to know it. Anyway, it doesn't matter now. I'm on vacation. Whatever. Hi, Middle East. Hi, Middle Easterns. How you doing? 10,000-year war, eh? We have fought a 10,000-year war. I don't know. My poor Middle Easterns. They're such good people. It's so frustrating that they would actually be going up against my American military. I don't know why. Oh, I hate Trumpy. I hate the United States Congress. Like I said, even the president isn't really supposed to be directing how the military does things. The military officers are supposed to. The president isn't ever supposed to be able to order the military around, really, exactly like that. Like I said, he does things in the country. He doesn't actually, they're never supposed to have, the military runs itself, basically. It's almost like a standalone thing. It's so frustrating. I wish I could clean things up. Ah. This is what happens when I take a vacation. You know that? I take one little vacation, 900 trillion years, and I take one little vacation, and everything goes to pot practically. Ugh. Like I said, the blacks do this nightmare insurgency into Germany. Adolf Hitler is running around Germany trying. One little vacation. Yeah, whatever. I didn't think you would actually blow up the place. Like some of my artificial intelligence life form said. Well, it got a little hairy there for a second, but I think we got everything worked out. Anyway, whatever. People just do not understand anything sometimes. It doesn't really matter. I wish I could talk directly to the public or directly to the people. I guess I kind of am. You know, straighten things out a little bit about what's what, what's going on, who's who, why they are the way they are, everything else. You know, how the civilization on Earth and the human civilization progressed throughout the years. Like with pictures, I could show you and take you through every single step if you wanted to see. Like there's no one else that I don't think that did more than me. Like thousands of years, millions of years. Lucifer's book. I'm Lucifer Star. So that's literally my book. Every version of it. Anyway, I know Karen Marie Loken doesn't know. Nobody knows. Nobody knew. Well, Rodney knew at some point in time. But, like I said, poor Karen. She had no idea. Like I said, she was screaming about how, like, they got her before she ever even met me. And I don't know why. It's like she hadn't even met me. And I even said at one point in time, I don't know her. I'd have never met her. So, anyway, I told them to release her, so I thought. It's like I hadn't met her. I didn't know her at that time. So, I do kind of now, but still. Leave her alone. She didn't know anything. She didn't know. She had nothing to do with me. She had nothing to do with anything that I did. She's just some girl. And like I said, Mexico promised me 30 women, or 20 women. Or more. Like millions of women lined up for me. The Third Reich even promised me people. Like,